Hello, everyone. It's week 4, day 2 of the LCS with coverage brought to you by Alienware. I'm joined right now by Inero, whose team is, technically speaking, I believe, tied for first, only because Evil Geniuses hasn't played their game. Because if they win that, then they'd be 9-2. You guys have the same amount of wins as them, but you have more losses. Anyway, Cloud9's not even up there with you guys yet. So what is leading to all of the success?
I mean, the team's just pretty close. Like, coaches, players, everyone across the board. Uh, if you could hear comms, they're just joking the whole time. It's very lighthearted. Like, that game, they're making fun of each other. Jay sounds like a annoyed parent trying to, like, gather everyone together. I don't know. The vibes are good within the team. Everyone sounds really happy all the time. At least on stage. On stage, we sound great. Everyone fights in practice, but I'm sure every team does that. On stage, everyone sounds like just friends, just close.
I feel like everyone continues to discount this team, despite the fact that you guys made finals, despite the fact that you guys are up near the top. I hear people talk about MVP conversations, and I hear them being like, oh, yeah, maybe this dude from Dignitas, maybe this guy from EG or C9, but Golden Guardians players never seem to be in those conversations, at least not yet. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. It's probably because they're Golden Guardians. Everyone always does that. Before this, it was always 10th, is what it is. I don't know. There's not some big narrative you can put on our team, I guess, because a lot of I think our carry strength comes from Huhi and the way he communicates and gets the team together on everything, and that's not easy to see in the game. We've also had a lot of games in the early on where it was kind of a shitfest. Like, we weren't exactly playing super well. We had a lot of games where we were down and had to come back, and we ended up winning those. And then games where we had leads and we threw them. So I think that's really causing it. Not huge standout moments. So it is what it is. I don't really care.
Do you think there are any of the players on your team that are playing particularly impressive as an individual? Because obviously you say a lot of it comes from the team, but are there any of those players that you think should be in contention for MVP or should be up there at the top in terms of like, oh man, people just aren't noticing, for instance, how Stixay is playing and doing these amazing things, or Gory or something?
I mean, I think Licorice and River have both been playing pretty well overall. I never know what to say for MVP because there's always that fucking argument where it's like, who's the most valuable on the team, or is it MVP? It's like the best player.
All pro then. First all pro.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of our guys have like really big reasonings to be an all pro overall. But Licorice has been playing a lot better this split. People have been giving him a lot more praise for that. He's feeling a lot more enabled too to take risks and feel like he can still win the game, where otherwise I think he wouldn't have. Like yesterday versus C9, for example, he didn't have to go for the play to try and kill Fudge after they looked to gank top, but he did because he knows like he can do that and we're still going to win the game. We're still going to have like our lead and play off of it, which is nice to see. Rivers just been smurfing, so. But that's usual. I don't know if he'll get MVP or anything. I don't know how people are going to vote. Because they're saying like what, Rich and JoJo right now?
Yeah. Rich, JoJo, and then Mark was making a case for Blabber.
Yeah, I mean, that generally anyone from C9 is always up there to be able to be talked about. I do think JoJo's done like really well. JoJo definitely deserves to talk about himself in that way. Like he's fucking good. I know the players hate that he all chats, but I love that shit. I think it's cool. Rich, I don't really understand that one. Like, he's a good player, but I think they just want to have something to talk about on Dignitas. There's not much to. So, I don't know.
All right. Well, stepping away from the individual players, what do you think of the other teams in the LCS right now? Because I think with the shortened season, there's been a lot of conversation around like which teams are good. Did a lot of these teams get better? We see Evil Geniuses, for instance, changing out 4/5 of their team, and yet they seem stronger. You got FlyQuest struggling. You guys just beat them a second ago as they're walking out. We'll keep our voice down. What do you think it is? What do you think of the other teams in the LCS right now?
It's same as always. There's always like a top clump that's all fairly close, middle of the pack, like soup, and then at the end it's.
Well, are any surprising you? Like, are you looking at Team Liquid and you're like, wow, they had such a good start, now they just suck, or I don't know, any of these types of things?
TL is always a surprise because like they're fucking good. Yeah. Like if you like teams will never know, or like public will never know. Like they're really good in scrims. They always have been, and then it's not working on stage. They have good players. It should work. But it's the same as like with FlyQuest, like it should work. There's no reason it shouldn't work if you look at it on paper. I think the biggest surprise for me is EG, but it's nice to see because hopefully it kind of pushes everyone more towards caring less about just trying to build teams with all the best individual players and just shove them together and hope it works, and more of just like what the actual team dynamic looks like. I think there was a lot on EG that helps unite those players on like one thing, like automatic buy-in, like they have to prove people wrong because they're going to be underrated. And that does a lot for your team. Like for Golden Guardians, that's always kind of been a thing. You're going to be underrated, but it helps kind of unite everyone to just fight back against that, and then also not feel super pressured like you have to be the best team immediately. Whereas FlyQuest, like I do not envy their position right now. Like they're meant to be the best team in the league, or at least contesting C9 for top 2, and they're completely falling apart. And now they have to try to get wins while also battling that own internal pressure. So I don't know, mainly EG, but I think it's something more teams should be doing. Care more about the team dynamic and less about like, oh, we have 5-star players.
I know you mentioned TL is really good behind the scenes as FlyQuest, or are they messy behind the scenes too?
I mean, FlyQuest, I know a lot of teams are saying that they were doing well versus them in scrims, but at least on our side, scrims were generally more favored towards us through the year. I think recently when we scrimmed them, it was a lot closer, and I think they won against us. But generally it's been the other way, so it hasn't really been like that for us. But no, I'm sure there's smurfing scrims versus people. But sometimes you can have mental blocks versus teams in scrims. Like I know us versus C9 for a long time. Like we just got railed every time we played them, and you could tell like it was just bad to book with them. I don't think it's really like that anymore, but it used to be. So who knows? They might have a mental block versus us too, and just smurfing on everyone else.
Do you think, because I think a lot of people maybe are not predicting Golden Guardians in the finals, or if they do, they're like, and then C9 will just win. But what do you think the chances are that you guys can actually pull this off this split?
Oh God, I don't know. I hate talking about going to win in the future. Yeah. Even when I do it jokingly, it always like bites me in the ass. Like you remember that shitpost video we did, making fun of the LS thing? Like if I don't go 11-7, I deserve to get fired. Yes. And it was just a joke. And then I think we got like 1 win after that, or 2 wins or something. Oh, and then last split, like we were 7-4, and then we had 9-9. We're gonna lose. We're not gonna make it to finals. We're gonna suck. We're not even gonna make it to playoffs somehow. I don't know. I refuse to talk about if we'll do well. I have confidence in the team, but that is where I'll leave it.
So. Thank you. That's the Reddit headline I needed. All right.
So. Suck at playoffs. Thanks, Travis. Yeah, post that one so I get more hate again. That'd be good.
Well, listen, you got hate before when you were positive, so this time they're going to be like, dude, finally a GM real talking. He finally knows what's up.
Okay, perfect. No, send that, please.
What do you think of the fact that nobody's talking about how Champions Queue just quietly died?
I don't know. I got joined. Okay, so I wasn't on the council thing that they had initially, and then I asked like, hey, can I be put on this, since I was like forcing this shit for years, and I got put on it. I think one of the first things I said was we should probably just let it die if this is what it's going to be.
You join the council and then you advocate for its demise?
Because I think that like it is clear we're not going to use it, and I think as soon as Riot took away the money aspect of it, and from what I remember, it was because like some player was saying, at least this was one of the reasons. I'm sure there's multiple ones. And not blaming any of the rioters involved with it, but it was just that they had, like, they didn't want to do it because they were worried about taking money from, like, amateur players who might need it because they're practicing in their game and they make them lose. Like, who gives a fuck?
That sounds like such a cop-out.
I know, but it's just, like, because they fell into the same trap that happened when I was running it, and I was really frustrated about it. Like, people that don't want to do it are going to come up with excuses to say why they don't want to do it constantly. And no matter where you move the goalpost to, they're going to move it further and say this is why they don't want to do it. And that's what kept happening. It was like, at first, oh, I only want to play with LCS players. Or, sorry, it was I only want to play with Academy players, no amateur players. As soon as Academy get in, like, I don't want to play with these Academy players. And then it's like, I don't want to play with until it's like LCS only. And then, oh, I only want to play like the top 3 teams. It's like, okay, fuck, we're just scrimming at that point. Like, who cares? So they just fell into the same thing, even though I like warned this ahead of time. Players are going to complain. They don't want to do it. It's fine. You shouldn't cater to them. If they don't do it, then like just don't support it. Like teams should be mandating it if they really want it to like go off. This year I didn't mandate it. I tried to like push it really hard in the last years. I didn't mandate it coming into the start of this year because like, it's not going to happen. Other teams aren't doing it. It's pointless. So I respect the teams that were constantly doing it. Respect definitely all the players that are pushing through and doing it as well. But there is no point to keep it alive. It's literally not useful.
That's so depressing.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, we can never complain about ping. Can never complain about like anything else with like having a better environment. They did everything possible to make that work. They made the client easier. Yeah, there was different issues, but like it is what it is. People just didn't want to play it, and that's it at the end of the day.
All right, on to the most important reason I asked to interview you. So this weekend I'm going to be in Vancouver for a wedding. Normally we would have Magic at Golden Guardians this coming weekend because it would have been 2 weeks. But next weekend, I'm back in town. Are you one? Can we do Sunday? And two, are you going to be free Sunday? You already say it's only Saturday that you're free, but
Yeah, I've been working a lot, Travis.
on what?
I'm working on little projects internally. I'm trying to help other stuff in Golden Guardians that's not the team. Our team kind of like runs on its own overall. So I'm trying to work on other projects to help the other parts of Golden Guardians, and then also stuff I'm trying to like pitch to the league in general to help out with things. So I've been working on other projects. So
Can you do
probably
that?
not on Sunday.
Okay, can you do that on Saturday, and then play with us on Sunday?
Okay, what Saturday are we talking? Not this one coming up,
So not
but the
2 days from now, but the one after. Yeah, because I would want to use the offices on that Sunday,
Yes.
and so I'm asking if you could play with us on that Sunday.
Yes, Travis. I will make sure I make specific time for you on that day. I'll get a PTO day for you.
Because it's the Lord of the Rings set. I feel like you wanted to play that,
Yeah,
right?
I wanted to play that one, so I was a little disappointed I couldn't play last time. But yeah, I'll do it for you.
All right, so I'll send out the calendar invite today for everybody so that we can do that. We're also going to do a sealed box event in the future,
Awesome. I don't know
where
what that means.
okay, so you buy an entire draft box,
Okay.
which has 36 packs in it. You crack them all, and you make a 40-card deck.
Cool. Those are words. Yeah. You know, I just show up and I like.
I know, but you know how to you know how to make a deck out of 6 packs.
Yeah, I know how to do that.
So
I
you
go
just you
full
do
red,
Yeah.
full green, and I hit face.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so in this situation, you just do that with 36 packs instead of 6.
Oh yeah. No, I can do that.
Okay, great. Anyway, anything you want to say to any of the fans out there?
Thank you to all the fans for supporting as always. We've got a lot more of them now, which is really nice. Also, shout out to Calm Poison. He's a fan who's been like supporting GG for a pretty long time since the days when like I first joined. Really cool guy. He comes by my stream all the time, helps me out. Yeah, just cool guy. I've never really talked about him publicly, so just wanted to shout him out. And then yeah, shout out the other people who've been watching me stream. Been doing that for fun. And yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things LCS right here on my YouTube channel. LCS is here, and so is my coverage. And while you might think that most of what I do here is just interview people, it's actually also about trying to impress people because reputation matters at the LCS. You need to look stylish. That's why right now I'm sporting my 720H headset available from Alienware. But also, the coolest thing that really helps me stand out from the crowd is walking into LCS with my new M18, featuring their new Legend 3.0 design. The anodized aluminum lid with the dark metallic moon finish is very cool and helps me stand out from the crowd. People know I'm the coolest when they see me with an Alienware notebook that has an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 40 series GPU in it. So thank you so much to Alienware for sponsoring and helping me stay fashionable.